In the last few years, India has emerged as an attractive destination for foreign and domestic M&A activity. In this video, we share some trends that we have seen on key deal terms across private M&A transactions that the firm has worked on.
The government's efforts to reduce FDI restrictions and to improve the overall business environment are bearing fruit. In our deal analysis, we found that only 18% of the deals required any kind of regulatory approval. These are primarily in the infrastructure and BFSI sectors, which are regulated quite heavily across the globe. Break fee clauses are more prominent in public M&A transactions. This trend is evidenced in our deal analysis as well. Only 4% of the transactions had break fee clauses. When it comes to reverse break fee clauses, in our data set, only 1% of the transactions had a reverse break fee clause. Coming off the pandemic, deal environment has been defined by VUCA: volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. In such an environment, buyers are insisting on detailed material adverse change clauses to be incorporated in their documentation. At 74%, an overwhelming majority of the transactions that we analyzed had MAC clauses. In our data set, political and financial instability was excluded from MAC in 43% of the transactions. Further, pandemic and its impact on businesses was also a regular exclusion in nearly 1/3 of the transactions that we analyzed. At a broad level, the purpose of representations and warranties is to drive disclosures and to allocate risk between the seller and the buyer. So it wasn't surprising that only 12% of the deals that we analyzed had general data room disclosures. Our overwhelming majority at 68% had specific disclosure regimes being negotiated and agreed. In addition, we saw that fair disclosure, as opposed to full disclosure, was becoming an increasingly accepted trend. In 95% of the deals that we analyzed, arbitration was the preferred mode of dispute resolution, and 89% of those deals had institutional arbitration like SIAC, ICC, or the MCIA. When it comes to governing law, in most situations, the governing law was the same as the law of the location of the target. The key principle being that if there is a well-recognized legal system at the location of the target, then the parties generally go with that.